Edmonton XL 92.5 FM.
All right, welcome in. Today's new drug is a wild weekend in sports, including an absolutely crazy U.S. Open. What a finish it was. We'll talk golf, a little hoop, and a whole lot more. Some college football recruiting action we're going to get to. Frangie, Carly, and JJ LaSelva with you. I will say this here for all of America to hear. There's no place I love going to eat more than my friends at Bono's. I've been a spokesperson for Bono's for 30-plus years. My friend Joe Adib, who started it, now retired. His son-in-law Josh runs the joint. They do a fantastic job. It's the best barbecue in town. I love going to Bono's. But the three words you don't always want to hear at Bono's during a loser Monday season is, oh, you're back.
Not good.
I got the oh, you're back today. Okay. Yeah. So once again, I'm the loser. I walked in for these two losers and bought lunch.
So we got the NCAA tournament, we got the Masters, we have the PGA, and the U.S. Open all in a row.
How about that?
4 L's.
Yeah. So hang on. Let me make sure. Is that correct?
I don't think he has 4 L's.
I think I have 3 long. I have 3
But what
L's.
about you have 3 golf tournaments?
No,
well, we didn't do the Masters.
And we didn't do the Masters.
Yeah.
Oh,
What, you give me a loss? We didn't even do it?
I just assumed you were lost.
We didn't even do it? You're hanging me with a loss? How about the NCAA track and field? You want to give me a loss there, too? How about that?
Let's see if he's keeping
And of
track.
course, when
how about the Belmont? Did I get lost there,
Hey,
too?
remember the Derby? Your horse got disqualified.
Want to give me a Preakness? That wasn't me. Want to give me a Preakness, huh?
When
that
SGA
loss?
goes down in the first quarter
How about the
tonight.
NBA All-Star game? Did I get a loss there, too?
The Winter Olympics, you
Unbelievable.
had Lithuania.
Well, did I go
And the luge.
What, the giant slalom? Did I lose that too? Unbelievable.
JJ handing out
That is
belts.
Give me a loss. I didn't
a
have
shame
them.
we didn't do the Masters.
Unbelievable. Gracious alive.
It is a shame we didn't do the
Yeah,
Masters.
it is. So, but
we-
here's what I was saying. JJ has 1 loss. Hayes has none. I've now got 3.
7.
Until JJ. Boy, I tell you what. I know I don't count well. I'm glad he's not counting.
Right,
So-
yeah. You'd be in trouble. Maybe Mike Norvell should handle this for you with his 2 and 10.
The NCAA tournament, the PGA, and now the U.S. Open are my losses. JJ lost the Players, and then we'll see who loses the NBA. The streak I'm in, I'm not counting anything yet, okay?
Yeah, I think you're in pretty good shape.
I might be okay there, but and
Barring crazy injuries.
I think we're, by the way, what the scores I have are 222, 207, 162.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yikes.
so I think that's kind of where we are. So we'll certainly get.
Yeah, this is a big night for JJ.
I need a 50 burger
And you probably need the Pacers to win.
Yeah.
to go 7.
To get it to 7, yeah. Because now you are kind of running out of real estate. I mean, you really need it to be 3 more games, not 2.
And your guys are just, Jalen is just amazing, man. Like, going on his left to the hole, it's like an unstoppable play every single freaking time with that guy. He's a great player, great scorer.
Yeah, he's had a nice series for sure.
Yeah. The best part is you not losing when you announce to the world, as I would have too, that Jalen Williams is a guy you wouldn't recognize if you watched him.
But you know what?
He's come through for you.
You know what?
Hey, what is he like?
He's getting close to being like a son to me. Not there yet.
Oh, goodness.
Not there yet. But
the Little League
he's close.
Little League World Series is in Williamsport. Hadn't been played yet, but JJ already has me for a loss there.
It took Chinese Taipei.
Yeah, so there's that.
How many more? So we've got the British Open.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else we have.
And then is that it? Do we do? Are we going to do
the Masters? We do the Tour Championship.
We're going to do the Tour Championship.
Yeah, we do that. So yeah.
So we only have 2 more.
But we wanted to wrap it up before football.
And I love that they changed the scoring back to normal.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And they did it out of nowhere, by the way.
Yeah.
That's got massive Loser Monday implications.
Well, it does now.
Yeah.
Because in the past, if you picked early, like I am wont to do, you generally were okay there.
Well, it was like the NBA Finals. It always was sort of a market correction.
Yeah,
like whoever had been struggling to that point, normally you got a big break because you had if you hadn't used the player, you had somebody starting with an advantage of strokes. But they've taken that all away. So so we've got British Open and we've got Tour Championship, and then it'll be football season.
And I don't know who plays in the Hall of Fame game, but JJ's got me losing that one.
But you lost,
I've already
honestly,
lost that. So there's that. So
that was hilarious.
Well, you must have lost the Masters.
I'm like, what am I? That doesn't seem right, but
It sounds right.
Yeah. Well, it kind of does. That's the problem, is it does. So, all right, we got a lot of things to talk about. Beyond Loser Monday, and I'm going to get to I'm going to get a little bit of college football recruiting in a bit, even though I don't follow it very closely. Gigantic game in the NBA tonight. I mean, that everybody will be watching. I want to touch on that. Ohtani back to the mound. I hope that story doesn't get buried because it's a major story. But what a freaking U.S. Open.
Yeah.
And what a performance by J.J. Spaun to win it. And I will tell you this. He won it. A lot of times you win. A lot of times you'll see a golf tournament won by somebody surviving. The one guy who doesn't make all the mistakes. That wasn't what this was. This was a guy who, God bless him, the ball hitting the pin on number 2.
One of the worst breaks I've ever seen in major championship.
Well, I'm not saying it came back to him, but when it started coming back to him, I went and ran a lap around the neighborhood, came back, and it was still rolling.
It was brutal.
Was it amazing how far it went?
It was for a shot that might have gone in, but in worst case, you're probably looking at an 8-foot putt.
Yeah, usually when you hit the pin, if now a lot of times you hit the pin, you hit it too hard or whatever, but usually it stops around the hole. That thing came back. It went 2 or 3 zip codes, didn't it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was amazing.
It was brutally unfair, and he didn't respond well in that moment to it. But he had the delay and was able to gather himself, and talked about some great advice that he got from his coach, and in terms of just kind of settle in. But you're right. I mean, and it started. Look, on Thursday he was bogey free. That's what started it. I mean, he was 66. Brilliant Thursday to give himself an immediate advantage. And, that allowed him to weather the storm of shooting 40 on the front 9 yesterday, which is just an avalanche of strokes. But it wasn't just the final putt. I mean, he had 2 lengthy putts before that putt to stop the bleeding and then really build some momentum. So he's
and the drive on 17 really won it.
Absolutely.
Like set up that that eagle putt when everybody else was falling apart.
I'm going to talk about 3 or 4 shots, and that certainly was one of them. That was certainly and the significance of when they happened.
It was really cool too that he was the runner-up here. Yeah. Because no one. J.J. Spaun was a total journeyman.
Right.
And pushes Rory McIlroy to a Monday playoff. And loses the playoff and really wasn't overly competitive in the playoff. He sort of opened the door for Rory right out of the gate on 16. But still, it's cool that experience obviously helped galvanize him, build some confidence to, winning one of the biggest tournaments in the world. And it's, everything it did for his family. I mean, obviously the $4.3 million, but now he's a lock for the Ryder Cup team. I mean,
it's just legacy.
Yeah.
Forever. And always be remembered.
Absolutely. And it's been a while since we've had this. Golf was on this fantastic run of elite champion, elite champion, elite champion, elite champion. And it's been a while since we've had a guy sort of come out of nowhere and win a huge event. And I thought it was a great story. And I was sorry that Burns and Adam Scott didn't play better in the final pairing. But I thought, J.J. Spaun, just an incredible story. And it'll be fun to see where he takes us from here.
Well, and you hit it. For people in this market that follow golf, there was a significance because we watched him for 4 days. We talked about this with Lee Smith. We watched him up close and personal for 4 days. And it's clear he's a very skilled player. And because he was playing well even before that. He had another good finish. But when he got to the playoff, the shot that everybody will remember is when he hit it over the green on 17. I mean, he actually flew the green, and he again, Rory was going to win the playoff. You could feel that it was a 3-hole aggregate. But when he hit it over the green, and that was kind of his defining moment, really, and certainly for us more so because we pay so much attention to that event. And but he came back with some marvelous play down the stretch. Marvelous shots down the stretch. We'll certainly get to that coming up today on the program. I do want to get to the basketball tonight. I didn't think the ratings won't be good. We're already starting to see them now. The ratings aren't going to be very good, and that's okay. But I didn't think the Oklahoma City Thunder could play the Indiana Pacers, and that I would be this locked in and excited about 8:30 to get here. And part of it's our fun little loser Monday, but it's bigger than that. I am as excited about a Monday night NBA game, and for me as a sports fan, we say sports fan. I'm probably not. I'm probably more of a football, baseball, basketball fan, and golf. So I probably there's a lot of sports. I don't follow the gambling part of it. I'm not a fantasy guy. And the NBA clearly for me is well behind the NFL, college football, college basketball, Major League Baseball. So those four, the gap for me between whatever order you want to put them in, NFL, college football, college basketball, Major League Baseball, that's my big four. The gap for me after that to get to the NBA is probably next because I'm not a hockey fan. But the gap for me is pretty serious. It may not be. Golf might be next, actually, to be honest with you. I like more into golf than I do. So maybe it's sixth. Well, I'm pretty excited about this one tonight. Aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. It's been a fun series. Obviously, we've been heavily invested in it with our Loser Monday bet. And, and now, you're at the finale of, or getting close to the finale of how the story is going to finish. And it's been compelling. I'm surprised, like tonight, the Thunder are favored by 9.5.
9.5. I saw that too.
And boy, it just doesn't feel like it's been that kind of a series.
I thought the same thing when I saw the
way closer. Now, and the other night, Oklahoma City won by 7, so they were close to that spread, and they were on the road.
But it certainly wasn't a 7-point game.
Yeah, it wasn't. And it, obviously, what this series has shown is the team that lost last time is usually going to play with better intensity, better focus. And, I'm going to pick Oklahoma City tonight, but I would feel good about Indiana at 9.5.
This feels like, to me, a boxing match back in the day between two heavyweights or welterweights, whatever, light heavies, that you thought boxer A was the prohibitive favorite and was going to knock him out. And you got to the second or third round and hadn't knocked him out yet. And now you're in the fifth or sixth round and you hadn't knocked him out yet. And all of a sudden now you're in the ninth or 10th. It's a 12-round fight and you've made it to the ninth round. And the big story is, why didn't he knock him out? Doesn't it feel like that?
Yeah.
That's what this feels like. And now, by the time you get to the ninth round, you're not sure who's going to win. You're not sure who's ahead on the card. You're not sure who if somebody knocks somebody out. I can remember, and I'm certainly not gonna compare the Indiana Pacers to the great Muhammad Ali. So, but indulge me for this conversation. I'm old enough to remember when Foreman fought Ali. Okay, the rope-a-dope. You probably don't. I mean, you know the history of it. JJ, you know the history of it.
I've watched it plenty of times, yeah.
But I remember it. And we thought Foreman was just going to clobber Ali. I mean, people felt bad for what Ali was about to go through. And they didn't want him to get hurt. Because remember, Foreman had knocked out Frazier. Like, do you remember that? And Foreman,
he was like crying after the fight. It was brutal.
He knocked out Norton. He knocked out Frazier. So I remember, and I was listening to it. It wasn't on live TV back then. It was pay-per-view even then.
And Foreman, a much bigger guy.
Foreman, bigger guy, younger, stronger. And the fight keeps going on, and you keep thinking, we hadn't beat him yet. We hadn't knocked him out yet. Well, he hadn't knocked him out yet. It's the sixth round. It's the seventh round. And all of a sudden, Ali, the rope-a-dope, you know the story by now, the rope-a-dope got him to punch himself out and then knocked him out. This almost feels like that. Like, okay, you kept waiting and waiting. So it's going to be interesting tonight. And obviously tonight's the critical game now. I mean, whoever wins tonight now only has to win 1 out of 2. So we'll see what wins tonight. So
Indiana was so close on Friday.
I know.
They had it was only like a 6 or 8 point lead, but it seemed like a lot more at the time late in the game. And I'm like, this is it. Like, we're actually going to see Indiana take a 3-1 lead. And man, SGA just wasn't allowing that to happen.
Well, and Mathurin had like the worst 40 seconds, or Mathurin had the worst 40 seconds on a court you'll ever see.
After an amazing game before
after being the leading scorer the game before. So anyway, it's a lot to talk about today.
But that was brutal. I mean, that was about as bad a performance as I've seen an athlete have in a while.
We'll take a break. When we come back, let's start with golf. An amazing U.S. Open won by J.J. Spahn at brutally tough Oakmont. That's how we'll kick off the program on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show. From the Harrell and Harrell studio, don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's always truck season at Nimnick Chevrolet. Well, this month, you can save up to 20% off a new Silverado or get financing as low as 2.9%. Now, unlike most dealerships, Nimnick Chevrolet has the largest inventory on the ground, and it's ready for you to explore. With their extensive selection, you're sure to find the perfect truck at Nimnick. Available now, the all-new Silverado EV with payments starting in the mid-200s. Designed to go the distance, the Silverado EV boasts 440 miles of range, more standard range than any competitor. And remember, Nimnick will always give you the top dollar for your trade, and for a limited time, up to an additional $3,000 in trade assistance. That's right. $3,000. So head to Nimnicht today. You can shop online 24/7 at nimnichtchevy.com or view the dealership right there at Park Street and Cassett Avenue. So who's got more new Silverados at the best prices? Nobody but Nimnicht.
Radio from another galaxy.
Shall I scramble TAC HQ for an intercept?
What's its current position? 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
I want you to forget what you saw here today.
Home is where your story begins. And at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, we're here to make it the healthiest, most comfortable place it could be. Whether it's fresh, clean air, dependable plumbing, or reliable power, we take care of it all. From routine maintenance to state-of-the-art solutions, Donovan keeps your home running smoothly. Because at Donovan, we believe your home isn't just where you live, it's where your health meets comfort. Call Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing at 904-270-COOL or visit us online. Let's make your home healthier, safer, and better together.
The SEC and the ACC will face off in Jacksonville at the 81st TaxSlayer Gator Bowl game December 27th at 7:30 p.m. Join us for Saturday Night Football in prime time at the bank. Preferred locations and pricing available now at TaxSlayerGatorBowl.com.
I'm Julie Harrell. I grew up here in Jacksonville and have seen our city grow as well as the number of car crashes. If you need help after a crash, choose a law firm with an actual office here. Lawyers you can meet with face-to-face and who specialize in personal injury. At Harrell & Harrell, we've been here for nearly 40 years, developing relationships with local doctors, law enforcement, helping people just like you. If you've been injured in a crash, call Harrell & Harrell. Offices, Jacksonville.
From humble origins on Beach Boulevard to the grandeur of the old homestead, Taco Lou has bucked the odds, selling cheap tacos and even cheaper beers since 2008. I'll be the first to lament that nothing is cheap anymore, but much has not changed in 17 years. Bangin' Shrimp still rocks, margaritas flow day and night, and we love to see old friends and make new friends every day. You can still spin the wheel or sit outside on the patio in the sun with friends and family. It's been a ton of fun, and we have you, Jacksonville, to thank for 17 years. Taco Lou in Jacksonville Beach.
AA Automotive helps keep your vehicle in dependable and safe condition. Call Sam, Harry, or Joe, and they'll check your brakes, tires, fluids, electric, and motor, so your ride runs smooth on the road. That's AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Attention North Florida, it's time to elevate your game night. Head to Best Bet, your premier destination for poker. With locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine, we have a seat ready for you. Whether you're a seasoned poker player or just starting out, we have you covered with easy-to-learn games like Ultimate Texas Hold'em or 3-card poker. And it's not just poker. With delicious food, lively bars, and big screen events, there's something for everyone. Visit BestBetJax.com to learn more. That's BestBetJax.com. And ante up for fun.
Listening that fits your schedule perfectly.
Absolutely brilliant.
Go on demand.
Ad-free shows after the live show's end.
How about that?
Channeled by Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Search where you find podcasts. Spend an evening with heart. One night, 2 sets. A journey through the hits and timeless classics. June 24th, St. Augustine Amphitheater. Tickets on sale now at AXS.com. Don't miss an evening with Heart live.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect Pilsners and Lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
Are you experiencing high energy bills? Now is the time to upgrade your old inefficient windows and doors. Don't miss Renewal by Andersen's 30th anniversary sale. For a limited time, buy one, get 130% off all windows and patio doors. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com now to take advantage of this incredible offer. But hurry, this offer won't last long. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service. Restrictions apply. License number CGC 1527613.
Okay,
Okay, here we go with our final lightning round on Potty Talk. Top 3 answers on the board. Ready? Okay. The best way to save money when your faucets or pipes are leaking.
Roland Reese Plumbing.
Something to help you avoid clogged sewers and drains.
Roland Reese Plumbing.
The technical term for that ba-whoosh sound when a toilet flushes correctly.
Roland Reese Plumbing.
Roland Reese Plumbing is always the right answer. Roland Reese Plumbing, 260-7059.
Team 10XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We do thank our friends from the Best Bet. Always a Best Bet Monday around here. Happening right now at the Best Bet St. Aug. Get ready to ride off on a 2025 Yamaha Wave Runner. From now through August 8th, every hour of poker and table game play earns entries for the grand prize, and that drawing is on August 9th. So head to Best Bet St. Augustine right now. Let's update you, by the way. Arkansas leads Murray State 3-0. The Racers are batting in the bottom of the 8th. Obviously, the Arkansas pitcher has been very good. I won't jinx him now, I don't think. He had a perfect game. Did he hit a batter? Otherwise, the perfect game would have continued along. He does have a no-hitter going. I don't think me saying it here in Jacksonville. Gage Wood is his name, by the way. Through 7 2/3, he's got the perfect game going.
Look at those eyes.
And by the way, if he gives up a base hit right now, I did jinx him. But a no-hitter going, 2 outs in the 8th. And, I mean, he is bringing that is
97.
That is Wisconsin dairy cheese there, bro.
Wow.
And that thing is really – so, anyway, so he has been very good. He had a perfect game until he hit a batter a moment ago. He had not been the first base runner for Murray State. So, Gage Wood is the pitcher for Arkansas.
It's an elimination game.
Yeah, that's right. So, you have to – they lost to LSU. Arkansas did. In the first round. So we'll certainly update you on that as it continues on. But anyway, drama in Omaha as Gage Wood tries to finish off a no-hitter. Not a perfect game, but a no-hitter. They lead 3-0 at the bottom of the 8th.
One thing that I think would be a fun loser Monday, it would be one that extends, obviously. It'd be like kind of the NBA Finals one. But I think it'd be fun one year, like for each of us to pick like 2 teams of the 8.
Yeah, like have a
draft. Just do like a draft.
Yeah.
And
that
then,
would be fun.
I mean, just to have like a more of a reason to to pay attention to it, like at least for me.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not gonna lie. When none of the teams from around here in, I didn't watch very closely.
Okay.
Especially with the Open this weekend, it was like the golf is awesome.
If the Gators or the Noles, I mean, I root for the Gators, I don't root for the Noles, but if the Noles had been in it, if Georgia or Tennessee had been in it, but with none of the teams in our geographic, Miami had been in it, but none of the teams from around here, I didn't pay.
And we could just make a rule that since we're not picking the full 8. That if Florida or Florida State makes it, you're just not able to pick them, and then you don't have to worry about pulling against your school. Like Miami makes it.
He just threw a 12-6 Uncle Charlie there that got missed by about 1.5 feet. So they've played 8, and it's 3-0, a no-hitter going on. He's over 100 pitches. You don't dare yank him, do you?
No, college, they don't care about pitch counts either. By the way, I did see that there was drama at Rocco's. Yeah. So if you know anything about Omaha, there's that pizza place, Rocco's, where they do the Jell-O shot contest. I'm not saying it was LSU fans, but I'm assuming it was LSU fans. But they got a little rowdy. I think it was Saturday night, and they had to close early, they said.
They're the defending champions for every year for the Jell-O shots. So
I didn't know that that's like a thing with their fan base, that they go to Omaha even if LSU isn't there.
That's correct.
Really?
Yeah, which is kind of cool.
They're not quite in the same numbers, but that's right. And they do the Jell-O shots there. Yeah, even when LSU's not there. That's correct. So.
I didn't know that.
All right, so J.J. Spawn wins. He's -1. He's the only player in the field that is under par. Here's what I will tell you. And you talked about 17, the T-ball, J.J. Look, he drained birdies on 14 and 16 on long putts. That helps the cause. But to your point earlier, he gets to 17 tied. Okay? Tied. And it's a reachable par 4. To me, his next 6 shots were some of the most amazing golf you've ever seen. First of all, getting to 17 tied in the U.S. Open when bogeys are far more plentiful than birdies, and you hit it on the green. It's a reachable par 4. hits it on the green, great shot, putting himself in position for the eagle. Didn't make the eagle, made the birdie. Now he's ahead. Gets to the 18th hole, up 1. You got to drive it in the fairway. People say, well, it's just a drive in the fairway. Oh, yeah? On the 18th tee box, while it's raining, at a brutally hard course where people are, if you miss the fairway, you're going to struggle to get to bogey, and if you don't make bogey, you lose the tournament.
It's also a guy who's never won any important tournaments ever.
And his most significant run at a tournament, he lost in a playoff and didn't play very well. Hits it right down the middle. So shot number 1, the tee ball on 17, and then the 2 putts for birdie. Shot number 2, the bomb on 18, which was right down the middle, still left him 200 yards away, and then he hit what he called a safe 6-iron. It's not safe. You're scared to death. And he hit it up there on the green. I thought those 3 shots, the tee ball on 17, the tee ball on 18, and then the 6-iron from the middle of the fairway on 18 that gave him a 64.5-foot putt. Now, look, the putt will be remembered as one of the greatest putts in the history of golf. The only thing keeping it from being maybe the greatest putt in the history of the golf is he didn't need it to win. Okay, he needed to snuggle it up close. But he didn't. It's not like if he missed that putt, he loses the tournament. He probably wins the tournament if it's close. But to make the 64.5-foot putt to win the United States Open on a week where everybody is there's carnage all around. Obviously, one of the greatest putts in the history of professional golf. And I know we have some recency bias, but I can't imagine that's exaggerating. That's not hyperbole. It's the United States Open. It was 64.5 feet.
Longest putt hit all week.
Longest putt, but because it was 64 feet, and he made it, and he drained it, and I will tell you, it was one of the most amazing finishes you will ever see in a golf tournament of that stature. I thought, thinking to myself in retrospect, you wouldn't want to be still on the course. You'd want to be Robert McIntyre. You'd want to be sitting there watching. Normally you wouldn't. Normally you'd want to be in any other setting. Let me go control my destiny. You wouldn't want to be out there playing.
It looked like Rahm at +4, who was the first one in at +4, might still be in it for a while.
And so, and I'll give my friend Lee Smith credit. He's the best golf analyst I've ever been around. He was in here with us on Thursday. Spawn was at -4. Somebody else was at -3. I don't remember who else. There was two or three guys under.
Lawrence.
That's right. And you asked Lee Smith, what's going to win the golf tournament? We already had a guy at -4 on the first day. If you don't follow the Open, that would indicate, that doesn't mean 16 is going to win it. But if a guy's at -4 after the first day at the John Deere, then 12 is going to win, right? 9's going to win. 10's going to, right? Lee Smith said, yeah, take even par right now. Remember that?
Yeah.
He also said Burns would play great.
And he said, keep an eye on Sam Burns. But he said, even par, I'd take it right now. Well, only because of a 64-foot putt is why even par didn't win it. But I thought to me, and JJ, you made the point in the first segment, the tee ball on 17 and then the 2 putts. And the tee ball on 18 and the 6-iron on 18, no one's talking about those 3 shots. Maybe 17 they are. But no one's talking about the first 2 shots on 18. I thought they were so amazingly clutch. So much so, Hayes, that I thought he could relax on the putt a little bit. Does that make sense? I mean, because, look, these guys aren't going to 3-putt all that often, even from 60 feet.
Yeah, unless you're Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, but usually you're not, okay? So I think he allowed himself to relax by those 2 great shots on 18 and the great tee ball on 17.
Without a doubt. And the other thing about J.J. Spaun, all week, he was able to figure out the speed on the greens at Oakmont. Obviously, he did it in his first round. He was bogey-free. But then after all the rain fell, it changed. And we saw a lot of players, Scotty Scheffler being high on that list, of they could not figure out the greens. They could not figure out the speed of the greens once the moisture had gotten compounded. And J.J. Spaun was able to. Now, he gets a great, obviously, read from Hovland on the 72nd hole. But he had putted incredibly well leading up to that moment. So, yes, getting the read from Hovland helped him. But he was making huge putts all week. On Thursday, when it was drying out, he knew the speeds. Once it got wet over the weekend, I think after Friday's second round is when the monsoon came. And then obviously in the delays that they had on Sunday, he always had a good feel for the speed. And how he was able to do that, I have no idea. But it was masterful to watch. And he's an incredibly deserving champion. I mean, there were other, Burns not getting relief on 15 was, I thought, one of the worst calls I've seen an official make in a golf tournament.
Tell people what happened.
So Burns hits a fine drive. He's in the fairway, but because Oakmont had taken on so much rain, there was starting to be standing water, and it was evident. I mean, some of the greens they were showing, there were puddles.
There were puddles, right.
And so with Burns's second shot, it wasn't necessarily in a puddle, but you could certainly see the moisture. It was on the down part of a ridge where water could collect. He asked for an opinion. The first rules official says, nope, play it. It's not staining water. I think Sam and his caddy were a little thrown off by that. They asked for a second opinion, which I've never seen that either. I've never seen, nope, let me get a second opinion. So the second guy comes over, and whether it was out of solidarity or whatever, that rules official also determines, nope, you do not. And they were given relief all over the course.
Right.
I mean, the 30 minutes leading up to it, you were seeing guys, doing the 2 club links on many shots in the fairway. So Sam Burns has to end up hitting out of basically water.
Right. And the significant part, I want to interrupt you. The significant part is he wasn't asking for relief in a hazard. If you're in a hazard, then okay, you hit it in the hazard. Your point is he hit the ball in the fairway.
Right.
That's where people, and I agree with you on this, by the way. I think where people. He did nothing for which he should have been punished. That's right. Isn't that your point?
Without a doubt.
That he did nothing for which.
And it was clear. I mean, the course had been taking on water for hours by this point. And again, we were seeing players get relief at other parts of the course. So again, he was 5 over when this occurred. So it wasn't, it was already starting to fall apart for Sam Burns. But I felt bad for him because then he hits, it goes immediately to the left.
Right.
He double bogeys and he's out of it. But yeah, I mean, it was a great, it was a great week of golf. It certainly was a unique test, a very, very diabolical test. But JJ Spawn deserves all the credit in the world. I don't bring up the Sam Burns thing to say what if. I just thought it was peculiar that he didn't get relief on that. Would it have mattered? Probably not. But I just thought it was strange when they were giving relief all over the course by that point.
It's almost like he had hit it onto a sprinkler head in the middle of the fairway. If you hit the ball in the middle of the fairway, you shouldn't be punished. That's your point. So, but anyway, great win for JJ Spawn. It'll be very interesting now to see what he does. Is he a one-time champion that will not do much else?
That would be my guess.
Yeah,
but he'll always have Oakmont.
Well, and logic would tell you that. I mean,
he's 34.
Yeah, here's what he does have, by the way. He's got a 5-year exemption on the PGA Tour. He's got a 10-year exemption to U.S. Opens. His life's pretty good.
Absolutely.
What he did, I mean, a 5-year tour exemption. When you talk to these golfers that understand this world, the 5-year exemption is it makes you play better because the pressure's off. It's not it's now
not worried about making cuts.
Right. That the grind
is a contract extension.
That's exactly right. The grind is how do you get in these tournaments? How do you get guys? Can I get in? And it's such a battle to get in that 125. And the players are so great and they're so good and there's so many of them that now you're exempt. And by the way, a 10-year exemption to the U.S. Open. He'll be playing the U.S. Open when he's in his mid-40s. Good for him. So,
and the way he's playing, he's been so hot this year. He might make the Ryder Cup team.
He's a lock. He's third in the standings.
Okay.
He's going to be on the Ryder Cup team. I mean that is.
I love that.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's got that right mindset for that event. I mean, gritty. You're gonna.
I mean, to hit 5-5
you're gonna take
to
on
start
adversity
the round
in any of those matches, and you got to be able to stay tough. Obviously, he's incredibly mentally tough, and that'll serve this team well.
No question about it. So great win for JJ Spawn and an amazingly dramatic finish to the U.S. Open. Were you rooting for him?
I was sort of going back and forth.
Kind of wanted a playoff?
No, because I knew that was going to be Monday.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really, but I kind of went. I started with, I liked Adam Scott, and then he fell apart. But I was sort of rooting for all four of them. I thought at the top going into Sunday had unique stories. It would have been cool to see Sam Burns because America needs somebody else to step forward. And maybe that'll be J.J. Spawn at 34. But I was thinking more of a Scotty Scheffler, peer to step forward. And obviously Burns and Scheffler are incredibly close. So I thought that would have been good for American golf. But Adam Scott's Australian, but I think that would have been an incredible story in his mid-40s if he would have been able to win the U.S. Open 12 years after winning the Masters and, heck, I guess about 20 years after winning the Players' Championship. So I didn't want Hatton to win. So that was really the only guy that I was rooting against.
Hatton's hilarious.
And I kept hoping it didn't affect our bet. But I like Scotty Scheffler. Like, I pull for Scotty Scheffler. So even forgetting the fact that I didn't need Scotty Scheffler to do anything after Friday, thanks to Bryson DeChambeau, like, I'm still rooting for Scheffler.
Yeah.
And I was shocked at how, it's amazing he finished T7 with what I would say for him was his D-level game because he couldn't do anything right over 4 days. The first 2 days, he couldn't hit a fairway. He was wild off the tee. They showed Friday night him having a very heated practice range session with his longtime coach. But he gets that fixed. Then he can't make a putt. Right. I'm talking missing 3-foot putts multiple times on the weekend.
5 putts within 5 feet.
If Scotty Scheffler just putts, forget the 2 days where he can't find the fairway. Because he was able to grind through that and stay in contention. If he had just putted average, he might have won this U.S. Open. But it's still incredible. It's a testament to him as the world's number one that he can play as badly as he played and still finish tied for 7th at the U.S. Open.
We'll take a break. The NBA Finals continue tonight. Game 5. We'll talk about it after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
They say every town has a story.
Here's the deal.
Jags on 3.
It's black and teal.
1, 2, 3,
1010XL.
This is Mike Lynch, PGA Golf Professional. Take it from me. If you're dealing with an orthopedic issue, talk to the doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, where you're treated like a pro.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy with Southeast Orthopedic Specialist, where athletes are treated like pros. Thanks to all of you who have allowed us to be part of your recovery. Call us at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist if you ever have a need.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
A chipped windshield can turn into a big problem fast. Lauren Brooks here. Trust Novus Glass of Jacksonville for expert repair and replacement. Call 904-289-2905 for Novus Glass in Orange Park. 904-289-2905.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town, setting the standard in our hometown. Quality service, the best around. Coolidge is the cat that cares about your heating and about your air. Cool Cats Heating and Cooling, the coolest cats in town.
Love is in the air. Beards Diamonds. Listen up, couples. Got you a great offer. Hicken here. For a limited time, buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. That's right. When you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Save up to $10,000, man. Are you about to get married? Been married for years, thinking it's time for an upgrade? Don't miss the deal of the year on the ultimate symbol of love. Beards has hundreds of bands, top designers, white gold, yellow gold, rose gold, titanium, platinum, plain bands, channel set bands. You get the idea. Nobody has a bigger or better selection of wedding bands than Beards. So get to Beards now. Find the wedding band that reflects your style and your personality. Buy one, get the second one free. The big box corporate jewelry stores can't or won't do this, but Beards can, and it's happening through June 23rd. Buy one wedding band, get the second one free. Don't miss this opportunity to celebrate your eternal love with the eternal symbol. For a limited time, buy one, get one free on all wedding bands. That's right. When you buy his wedding band, get hers free. Buy hers, get his free. Shop local. Beards Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center.
Hey everybody, it's Mike Dempsey, and I only like to recommend the best, which is why I'm proud to say that I chose Pella Windows and Doors for my own home. And now's a great time to upgrade your home with 0% financing for 60 months. That's 5 years of interest-free payments on the best windows and doors in the business. Don't wait. Schedule a free consultation at PellaJacks.com or visit their showroom on Phillips Highway just north of Bay Meadows. For quality you can trust and savings you can't miss, that's Pella Windows and Doors.
Friends, we have a very special guest on the line.
The Checkmate Coatings phone line is where the action happens.
Where's the phone? Over there.
Get expert interviews and listener opinions all day, every day, from the drill all the way to Hacker After Dark on 1010XL.
Have you been diagnosed with moderate to severe opioid use disorder? You may qualify for a new clinical research study. Dr. Ferdinand Formoso is now enrolling participants to evaluate the effectiveness of a non-opioid medication treatment option for OUD. Qualified participants will receive study-related care at no cost and may be eligible for reimbursement of travel and accommodations. To qualify, applicants must be 18 to 65 years old, have been diagnosed with moderate to severe opioid use disorder, and have not been on medication to treat opioid use in the last 3 months. The study lasts up to 22 weeks, with weekly visits during treatment. If you're ready to explore a new path forward, visit OUDstudy.com for more details and qualifications. Take the first steps and visit OUDstudy.com. That's OUDstudy.com. OUDstudy.com.
Hi, folks. I'm Frangie. If you have a sweet tooth like me, the sweetest desserts in town come from Spoonful Bakery. Spoonful is an online bakery. They deliver boxes of assorted desserts right to your home or office. They're so good, and they make for great gifts for friends or clients. And if you want custom orders, wedding cakes or birthday cakes, or catered desserts for an event, they are the best. Log on to spoonful-bakery.com or call them at 904-515-4984. That's Spoonful Bakery for the sweetest desserts in town.
Mike Dempsey, and now's the time to get your roof hurricane ready with Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jax Beach. Look, our rainy season is no joke, and if your roof's got damage, leaks, or it's just plain worn out, don't wait. Apex is local, dependable, and will show up on time using only premium materials with ironclad warranties. No shortcuts, no stress, just quality work you can trust. Skip the storm season scramble. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jax Beach or visit apexroofingfl.com.
Lucas Tree Service is a certified arborist and a local family-owned business with over 45 years of experience. They specialize in tree removal, trimming, and stump grinding for both residential and commercial properties. Get prepared for storm season and receive top-notch customer service from Lucas Tree Service. 904-241-3533. Online at lucastreeservice.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
We thank our friends from the Best Bet. Every Monday they're the sponsor of the show. It's always a Best Bet Monday around here. You can cash in on the table games this weekend at all the Best Bet locations. Clockwork Cash Out plays out this Friday and Saturday from 6 p.m. to midnight. $300 being given away. You ready for this? Every 15 minutes. Head to the Best Bet today. That is Best Bet Jacksonville on Monument, Best Bet Orange Park on 17, and Best Bet St. Augustine on I-95 just off of the interstate there. Frangie Carline and JJ LaSelva with you. Thanks for joining us tonight. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. So many storylines, so many incredible storylines here. Not the least of which, and by the way, Gage Wood did finish off the no-hitter while we were at break. I should point that out.
Incredible.
In the College World Series. He struck out 18 batters and didn't walk a batter.
And was throwing like 98 on his
118th.
Yeah,
only the fourth in College World Series history.
Yeah, yes. He was nasty. So Arkansas wins and moves on 3-0 over Murray State.
Didn't walk a guy.
Did not walk a batter. 18 strikeouts, no walks. So he's good. Again, I don't know their personnel. You made the best point of all. He's got to be their number 2. You assume the ace pitched on Friday against LSU. So great work for
unbelievable. Arkansas doesn't have a lot of like you think of like most famous Razorbacks, at least like in the last 30 years. You've got Darren McFadden, Scotty Thurman, Corliss Williamson.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's about
doing
it.
Something like this in the College World Series.
It's a great call.
I mean, Gage Wood's going to move up that list.
And you're right.
For Arkansas.
It's a very good point. There's only a handful of guys that are certainly known outside of it. So you're right.
The first College World Series no-hitter since 1960.
Really? Since 1960. How about that?
Wow.
Only the third all time. I was wrong. Third since
it hasn't happened since 1960.
65 years.
Pretty amazing stuff. So Gage Wood, a no-hitter. Wow. As Arkansas beats Murray State. Oklahoma City is at home tonight against Indiana. Game 5. What do you expect? We'll get the winners in a minute. I'm like you. 9.5 seems like a big spread, but they are at home. Close game, blowout. Does somebody finally collapse? What do you think?
I think really close game. I think it's, I think if you're Indiana, you're playing for your life tonight. And I think they know that. The Thunder, it'll be interesting to see if they can match that intensity. Obviously, they're at home, so they'll have the crowd behind them. But it just feels like it's been a series where, if you've lost the last game, you dig a little deeper. And all the games are decided. It's amazing. The fourth quarter is, it's one defense just decides, okay, we're not going to let them score this quarter. And it's happened the last 2 games. I think the loser of the last 2 games has been at 18 points in the fourth quarter each time, which is obviously, dreadfully low. So I think Indiana will be the more intense team, but I think it's going to be a spectacular finish, and I think Shea breaks their heart, inside of 3 seconds to play.
That's kind of. What about JJ? What are you expecting?
I think it'll be similar to Game 2, which was more of a blowout. OKC at home. I think that they're going to be too much for Indiana. I think Indiana has got to win the Game 6 at home. That's really their only hope. But yeah, I just think Friday night's game was so big I said it before the show or before the game on Friday, like, the Pacers have to win this game, and they were really freaking close, and they didn't do it, and I think it's over for them. I think they get blown out tonight.
Yeah,
I hope not.
Yeah, I don't think that. I've thought that so many times now. So many times that I've thought they're.
I just think they're too tough to get blown out. You know what I mean? I don't think it's even a talent thing. Right. I just don't think they will allow that. Like, they may lose, but I'd be surprised if they get beat by like 19.
Yeah, because they don't. Because 2 or 3 things. Number one, that mental toughness makes them battle in the early parts of the game, the formative stages of the game. But then they have a little bit of a resilience that even when it's over and they're down 8 or 9 with 7 to play or 4 to play, they keep playing.
Yeah, we've seen them come back down 20 multiple times in these playoffs.
So
in the fourth,
they keep playing,
and they're deep. So like Carlisle didn't make the right choice the other night. With Matherin, but normally he does, and they're so deep that by the time you get to the fourth quarter, like, he sort of has figured out these are the guys I can count on tonight. Now Oklahoma City has absolutely every bit as much depth, so their side can do that as well.
They have McConnell and Toppin who have come off the bench and been phenomenal for them.
Yeah, and I will say, to your point, JJ, you keep waiting for Gilgeous-Alexander to take over the game. He scored a bunch of points. Friday night he scored how many in the last?
Yeah, got to the line.
But even then, he won the game for them. But he didn't take over the game to where the other guy wilted. Jordan would take over games, and everybody else would quit playing on both teams. So I think it's good tonight, man. I think it's I get the hunch. I think Oklahoma City will win. I think they'll be up 3-2, and I don't necessarily think it's going to be a shot at the buzzer that wins, but I'd be surprised. Look, here's why it's not over in the fourth quarter, to the point JJ just made. They've proven it's not over even when it looks like it's over. They've proven that.
They're going to make me watch till the end. I know that, no matter what.
Until it's mathematically impossible. I'm
Which
watching.
means zeros are up. But it'll be a fun game.
I know what they won't do is make only 3-3-pointers like they did on Friday night.
Yeah.
Like, it's 2025. Like, it's shocking that a team won an NBA Finals game with 3 made 3-pointers. Yeah. It's crazy.
All right, final thing is we're staying in the NBA for a second. Tell me, JJ, about Desmond Bane, who we all know, if you follow, is this phenomenal three-point shooter. Orlando Magic gave away the farm for the guy because I guess the theory is the Magic thinks now's the time to go try and win, and they've got their core. They're adding one guy to the core. What did you think of that trade? For people that don't know, Desmond Bane, this incredibly good shooter, a three-point shooter.
From the
Grizzlies, went to Orlando for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Cole Anthony, 4 unprotected first-round picks, and 1 first-round swap. Now, I don't know the league like I do the NFL, but that sounds like a lot.
Oh, yeah. The NBA, they just throw picks around
I know
like
that.
It's nothing.
No, and I know that.
And they're also thinking, like you said, listen, we're going to be good over the next 5 years. So a first-round pick isn't really a huge deal for us like it usually is for the Magic to give away a first-round pick. They brought Caldwell-Pope in last year. You probably know him. He won with the Lakers, won with Denver. He was supposed to be like the veteran three-point shooter on the team because they desperately need a shooter. They're the worst team at shooting in the NBA. So to go get Bane was a big step. I'm not really worried about all the picks just because I do think they'll be middle of the road to above average over the next 5 years. But do I think Bane is going to come in and make the Magic a team that's going to compete and maybe win the East? No, I don't buy that yet.
Yeah, here's my theory, Hayes. They've been down for so long. It's been a long time since the Magic have been any good. They've got Ben Caro. They've got Wagner. They've got Jalen Suggs. Why not get one more really good player and then go all in? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But is that kind of the theory? It's been a long time since you've been one player away in a weak East from being able to be one of the best teams in the. And again, non-NBA guy talking here, but that's what it seems like to me.
Well, and Bane's 26, so he hasn't even hit the prime of his career yet. So you're getting an established player who averages 17.8 points for his career, and those numbers have been better the last couple. But for his career, just under 18 points a game, that's obviously impressive. And mainly, like what JJ was saying, it solves their biggest weakness. They cannot make threes. They're historically bad. They're the worst three-point shooting team that the league has had in a decade. And this is somebody who shoots it at a 41% clip for his career.
He's got 18. He's got 800 made threes.
Yeah, so I would think, okay, yeah, you're giving up a lot, but you're also getting him. Let's just assume he turns 27 next week. I have no idea when he turns 27, but let's just assume that he's 26 now. You've got him for year 27, 28, 29, 30. Those should be 4 spectacular years for him. So I would assume those 4 first-round picks are going to be in the 20s. And, obviously you hope for the Magic's sake that it's 30. But yeah, I like the move. The East is watered down. You haven't been relevant in forever. And, is it a lot to pay? Yeah, but if you want to acquire a great player, you're going to have to give up something.
And you also have to show that Paolo, we're doing everything we can to win with you. We can't afford to let you walk like Shaq or whatever. We are doing everything we can to win and you as our superstar.
Yeah, and you're showing your fan base, look, at least we're trying here. At some point, and at some point you feel like if you've perennially lost, at least I want to know my front office is trying to make the moves to make us like one of the good teams. So it'll be interesting.
They won't take Clayton now, right?
They don't have that pick.
But they have the other
They have the second pick.
Oh, okay.
They have the 25th, so they just don't have the 16th.
Yeah,
I don't know if he'll drop that far.
Well, but even if he was there, would you still take him if you've got Bane?
Yeah. Just an off-the-bench guy, scorer. Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
So the dream still is alive.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll take a break. Hey, when we come back, I don't follow college football recruiting very much. It's not my. It's just back in the day.
Why would you? Until they get to signing day, it all can flip.
Yeah, and back in the day, But I will tell you that just by being on social media, it looked like in the last day and a half, every high school player in America just committed to Florida. Can you take 147?
Yeah.
Did it? Again, I don't.
It was
I'm gonna let you tell me. I'm gonna let you talk about it more than I can because I don't follow it close enough. But I got a lot of thoughts about it. Was there just one big weekend?
It was the last official visit weekend,
and they all fell into place.
So it was all scheduled and well executed.
Yeah, and kind of where it might take. What I will talk about is where programs are headed. We'll do that after this. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Feel the downforce of 100 horses.
You see him shaking as he goes down Long Pond straightaway.
This Sunday at Pocono Raceway, NASCAR is tuned up by Maxie's Mechanics on 1010XL.
If you need an insurance agent, I'll recommend the best guy in town, State Farm agent Craig Dewhurst. Call him at 940-9740. Really good guy, really good agent. Life insurance, homeowners, automotive, you name it, he'll handle it for you. Tell him what you need. He'll assess your whole situation. What kind of coverage do you need? How much coverage? What should your deductible be? What do you make and how does it fit your cost and your rates? You will love dealing with Craig. What a nice guy he is and how he'll help you get the right answers. The best in the business. Craig Dewhurst from State Farm, 940-9740.
I'm Holt Harrell with Harrell & Harrell. Choosing a law firm after an accident is an important decision. So how do you decide? With so many messages on air, I know it can all sound the same. At Harrell & Harrell, we believe what sets us apart is our commitment to you. When you've been injured in an accident, you need help from someone you know, someone you can trust. Harrell & Harrell, a name you know, a name you trust. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Offices, Jacksonville.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. Let's start with some cold, hard truth. Here's why Awaken 180 Weight Loss is your road to freedom. It's fast, it's easy, it's safe. You're not shooting chemicals into your body every week. You're eating real food every single day. You're not listening to an overpriced celebrity tell you about magical new food or asking you to count points or calories. You're just eating food and losing weight. It's that simple with Awaken 180 Weight Loss. You know what else you're doing while losing weight with Awaken 180? Eliminating pain, fitting into clothes you haven't worn in years, sleeping through the night and waking up refreshed and energized and happy. I lost 40 pounds in 9 weeks on Awaken 180, and Hacker lost more than 110 over the course of a year. It's a life-changing road to freedom. Doesn't matter what your goal weight is, Awaken 180 Weight Loss will get you there quickly and safely, a clear path to success without disappointment. Awaken 180. Give them a call, 844-346-1800, or go online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Life is just so busy this time of year. Between work, the kids' games, family vacations, I need a yard hero to free up my weekends.
You mean somebody who does mowing and trimming?
Yeah.
How about mosquito control?
Yeah.
What about irrigation and pet waste removal?
You do that too? You're my lawn hero.
Find your lawn hero at heroeslawncare.com. Heroes Lawn Care, because every lawn needs a hero.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Are you ready to reclaim your backyard? Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, Surfside Pools is the trusted name for expert pool design. Family owned and operated, they offer pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools transform your backyard into the oasis that you crave. Are you ready to float happy? Visit surfsidepools.net or call 246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, where luxury meets leisure.
License number CPC 044080.
I'm Max Fink, and I'll bring you the Gator Report several times weekly to keep you connected to Gainesville.
The Gator Report, put together by San Jose Collision on the home of the Florida Gators, 1010XL.
Go, Gators! Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Pickett here with a game winner. It's Checkmate Coatings. I've scouted them all. And this Jacksonville crew's the real deal.
I'm Brendan, owner of Checkmate Coatings. We transform pool decks,
driveways, and patios with Pro Precision.
Score big at CheckmateCoatings.com. Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Checkmate Coatings, your floor's missing piece.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update, brought to you by First Coast YMCA. Last week at minicamp, 1010XL's Ryan Hacker Green of the Hacker After Dark show got some time speaking with former Florida Gator and first-year Jaguars offensive lineman Fred Johnson. Although there was plenty of Jaguars talk at minicamp, Hacker couldn't pass up the opportunity to ask Johnson about his thoughts on the state of his alma mater's football program.
I'm actually about to finish school here in the upcoming year or so. I started back doing classes this offseason. I love my alma mater. I talked to Billy when he came here last time, but now I'm able to go to more games, so I'm excited for that. I love how he got the program going, and I love the culture he's building. I have 1,000% faith in him to turn it around, him and Lagway, and I'm excited to see what they do this year.
It's 86 degrees at 5:01. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and now in St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
JJ, give me a little Don Henley.
This is great.
You're getting Don Henley on a Monday?
Yeah. They played
on the First Coast?
Yeah. They played this at the Sphere.
Oh, no doubt. They play all the Eagles concerts, they play this.
Do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was glad because I love this song.
They play some Henley stuff. Fry, when he was still around, some Fry stuff. Joe Walsh, obviously, plays his 2 or 3 things. So they go so pretty good. Hey, all right. So I don't follow the recruiting thing closely, like I told you. Back in the day, we all did, So, but I'm on X because that's what you do, and you look and see what's going on. And I see the Billy Napier smiley emoji, and then you see the 4-star defense. Okay, good, and said that's cool. And then, then I looked up and I saw another one. Then I looked up and saw another one. And now all of a sudden I'm thinking, okay, they're now coming like rapid fire. And maybe that just happens everywhere. But let me say that first of all, am I overreacting? Again, I don't follow it closely, but this is out of the norm, right? Let me pull this up.
Well, just to put it in perspective, they only had 5 commitments in this class before this spree.
Okay, and so I've got in the last 15 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys in 15 days.
Right, but it was like 6 guys this weekend.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I guess my point is that are they now catching up in the recruiting world with the Ohio States, Alabamas, Georgias? Are they for where people are supposed to be in June? Is that where they are?
Well, I mean, if you look at their rankings, they're still kind of down because they just don't have that many players in their class still. Most of these classes still are in the high teens or into the 20s. So, Florida still just has 11, so they still have a lot of room in the class. So, but I do think this was by design. They wanted to build late summer momentum. They wanted to have a wave of guys coming in. By the way, there's a prediction on 24/7 Sports that they're getting ready to get a 5-star edge player named Trenton Henderson to add to this already. So just over the weekend, they got an elite running back, an elite receiver, 2 elite offensive linemen and an elite defensive lineman. And then if they get Henderson, that would be a second elite defensive lineman. So, yeah, I think that, they're well on their way to finishing somewhere in the top 10. Yeah.
So here's where I am on this. And again, the what my friend David Sturt used to say, verbal commitments aren't worth the paper they're not written on. Which is true. Who knows? It will flip in this.
And even so, it's even more so now because another school can come along and say, well, we'll give you triple the money that they're paying.
Yeah. So, and that's right. Now, hopefully that changes a little with the settlement and the NIL go. But anyway, right. So, my question is not how good, who knows how good these guys are. Right. But what I do know is they hired him because they thought he would be a roster builder akin to Kirby and Dabo. That's why they hired him. Steve Spurrier got hired in 1989 because he was going to throw passes and run and do things that were ahead of the game. That's why he was winning at Duke, and that's why, and it worked. Bobby Bowden was hired in 1975 at FSU because he was the program was dead, and he was kind of the offensive mind that would run reverses and run gadgets and get people excited and infuse life into a dead fan base, and it worked. Okay. Howard Schnellenberger was hired at Miami back in the day because he would come with this NFL mindset, and when everybody else was trying to play college football, he was going to bring the NFL to Miami and make them better than everybody. Well, you know what? It worked. So you knew why all these guys were hired. You knew Spurrier with the passing game would be ahead of his time. Bowden with the excitement and his personality and the reverses would breathe life into a dead fan base, and he did. Howard Schnellenberger was going to get to Miami. You know the drill. Nick Saban was going to go to Alabama and make them tough and make them play like NFL guys because they had failed after Bear Bryant. They had 7 coaches in a row who didn't fail. I mean, Gene Stallings won a national title, but they never found the guy. So let's go get – so all those guys, you knew why they hired him, all right? So Florida goes and gets Dan Mullen because they think he's a very good offensive mind, which he was, by the way, but he just didn't wasn't much of a roster builder, right? So they go get this guy, Billy Napier, this good old boy Southern guy from Louisiana, or most recently at Louisiana, grew up in the SEC, he's from Georgia, coached at Alabama. He's about as Southern as they get because those 2 Southern coaches, Kirby Smart and Dabo Swinney, one of whom played at Georgia, is now coaching there. One of whom played at Alabama, is now coaching Clemson. Those Southern boys, if you will, loaded up these rosters with all these good players. So let's go get Billy Napier because he's going to be Dabo and Kirby. That was the theory. Now, there's more to it than that, but don't kid yourself. That's why they hired him. So to be Dabo and Kirby and to build the roster the way they did. Well, it took a while, and I'm still not sure how good a game day coach he is. I still have a lot of questions about whether he's the guy. And with this brutal schedule, and if he doesn't win enough games, he gets fired, we may never know. But I know the team they're going to put on the field in 2025 has a roster that at least looks like the Georgia, Alabama, Clemson roster. I'm not saying it's good, but they now have NFL players all over the place, which it took him 3 years to get that. Well, now if he's getting all these recruits, and again, I don't pretend to know the details, are we headed to a world where he's going to do what he was told he was hired to do, and that's all of a sudden their roster? I say this about my friend Ron Zook all the time. Ron Zook was brought into Florida to build a roster that could win a national championship. And when they won a national championship 4 years later under Urban Meyer, 22 of those 24 starters were guys Ron Zook signed. So it worked. He just didn't get to stay long enough to do it, right? And who knows if they'd have done it if he'd have stayed. But you get the point. Is Billy Napier on the cusp of building what he was brought in to build? The 2025 team, by the way, part of that is big-time, highly regarded quarterbacks. Well, he's already got 2 of those. He's got Lagway and he's got this guy Griffin coming in, who are both top 50 quarterbacks, or top 50 players and highly regarded quarterbacks. So, Hayes, I guess the question is, does the evidence suggest that maybe, just maybe, Billy Napier is doing what he was hired to do?
I think without a doubt. In terms of roster, I don't think I would trade Florida's roster for anyone in the SEC's beside Texas's. Now, a lot of that is how much I believe in DJ Lagway, that he is going to be an excellent college football player. But even beyond Lagway, I really like what he's built around Lagway. So, I mean, obviously you're going to look at the quarterback when you make a statement like that, and I'd rather have him over Garrett Nussmeier, who I think is good. I'd rather have Lagway over Arch Manning, but I can't argue that Texas has better talent across the board than Florida. It's not by a ton, but I think they've got it. LSU probably has better talent outside of the quarterback spot, but I think it's microscopically close, and I'd rather have Lagway. I would definitely take Florida's roster over Georgia's because I don't think their quarterback is especially great. I think he's a good game manager kind of guy, but I don't think he's going to play above the X's and O's, whereas we've seen it with DJ Lagway. A play breaks down, and that might be when he's at his most dangerous. I mean, he's throwing Ole Miss guys off of him and completing passes for third down conversions. He's got an FSU defensive tackle draped all over him as he's backpedaling. He somehow throws that guy off, takes 2 steps, flicks his wrist, 18-yard gain to the sideline to keep the drive going. I mean, he does things that are just I mean, above the X's and O's. I mean, above that. So, I mean, that's why I think that Florida could be special, and you have to give Billy Napier credit for that. Why would DJ Lagway have signed with Florida? He's from Texas. Florida had no momentum at all as a program, and Billy Napier was somehow able to coax DJ Lagway into coming to Gainesville.
Well, that's the point. The point, I don't know if I'm taking Lagway over Garrett Nussmeier today, but that's not the point. The point is he got him to come there when nobody was going there. He got LJ McCray to go there when nobody was going there. Yet it's not even those guys. It's the guys that he sees something in that maybe, if you're going to be Georgia, if you're going to be Alabama and Ohio, maybe not Alabama, they get whoever they want. But for the most part, these schools have to not only get Hayes the 4 and 5 stars everybody wants, you have to recognize something in the 3 stars that other people didn't, right? That's a big part of it. So we'll see. Again, we're a long way from football. Florida's got a brutal schedule. As good as Lagway might be, he's still a really young quarterback, and there's going to be growing pains. For a full-time starter, he's going to have growing pains because they all do, just like Arch Manning's going to have growing pains. So who knows how good they'll be this year? Who knows if the Billy Napier thing will make it? Again, I'll say it again. I've still got some concerns about the coaching stuff.
How could you not?
Yeah, correct. But in terms of what he was hired to do, and that's finally make Florida an elite recruiting school again. And again, I'm also going to tip my cap to Scott Strickland. Everybody's down on Scott Strickland. Well, one of the reasons that Billy Napier's there is because he hired him, by the way. One of the reasons he's able to get those players is they built those facilities. That standalone football now is as good as Clemson.
It's really nice.
It's as good as Ohio State's and Alabama's and Georgia's. And everybody said you can't recruit until you have that. Okay, and Scott Strickland said, well, then by God, we're going to build that. Same thing with Kevin O'Sullivan. Kevin O'Sullivan said, if we're going to be one of the best 5 to 8 baseball programs in the country, which they are, you got to build me a stadium that looks like LSU's. Well, guess what? They now have one that looks like that. So I'm going to applaud him on this too. It's just I just see all these names. I'm wondering, are they headed to elite roster building?
I'll give you another example. So Graham Hall works for 24/7 Sports covering the Gators, and he has started a top 25 countdown to get people, Gators fans, excited for the season on the top 25 players on the roster. So in previous years, 25 through 15, I'll just be honest, have been duds. I mean, Florida just didn't have any. I mean, they might have like 10 good players.
Right.
But once you got to 15, certainly 21, 24 guys that you're like, really? This is, one of the best players on the team. This is the countdown so far. He's only a few days into this. So 25, Dallas Wilson, a 5-star receiver who dominated the spring game. Looks like the second coming of Jeremiah Smith so far.
You might have just made your point if he's 25.
He's 25. 24, LJ McCray, a 5-star edge who they all think is getting ready to take a huge step in his second year. 23 is Michael Burrow, big-time defensive tackle who played well as a true freshman. And 22nd is Bryce Thornton, who has already done good things as a safety. So, I mean, you look at if that's the players you're leading off this list with,
right?
Florida has got, I mean, we've talked about it, 4 returning offensive linemen, Jaden Baugh, Jacoby Jackson, Trey Wilson, Sturdivant through the portal, Miles Graham, Gates, Childs.
If you
Castell.
If you had
Searcy, Sapp, Banks.
If you had Spurrier, Urban, Saban, pick your great Bowden, pick your great coach in this group this year, you'd expect him to win 10 or 11 games.
Without a doubt.
And again, I'm not trying to knock him as a coach, but I'm just being the reality is if you had one of those guys, one of those proven Kirby Smart, Vince Dooley, Steve Spurrier, Bobby Bowden, whoever, Nick Saban, obviously. If you had one of those guys coaching this group, you would expect this to Urban for sure. You would expect this team to win 10 or they may not, but then you wouldn't be caught up in the schedule stuff. So anyway, so we'll see if it goes there. But I'm watching it today, and I'm watching it. I'm thinking, if the recruiting people are all right, here's what I can tell you: June 16th in the past, last June 16th, and the year before is June 16th. In the year before is June 16th. It didn't look like this. Does that make sense? It didn't feel like this. So we'll see what happens. All right, let's take a break. Hayes has headlines on the other side. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Another sizzling summer on the First Coast.
That's the sound of sunshine.
Keep cool with 1010XL.
This is Hayes Carline for Kingfish Pest Control. Mosquito season is upon us, but don't let them take over. The secret to a bite-free yard is starting today with Kingfish Pest Control. Their 3-step mosquito defense process stops them before they can spread. Eliminate breeding areas. Build a protective barrier around your yard and monthly treatments to keep them away all season long. The earlier you start, the fewer mosquitoes you'll have to fight. Don't let those pests ruin your outdoor fun. Call Kingfish Pest Control, proud partner of the Jaguars.
Hi, it's Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass, there's one name I trust, and that's Lee & Kate's Glass. Mirrors, custom showers, tabletops, even foggy glass windows, they handle all that. And they've been doing it right since long before I ever picked up a mic. Local, family-owned, and part of this community, just like we are. They've taken great care of me, including our brand-new walk-off offices. Guys, they did a great job, and I promise they'll do the same for you. Lee & Kate's, it's the clear choice. Check them out at leeandkatesglass.com.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Big Chief Tire is coming to Mandarin. Lauren Brooks here. Join Big Chief Tire for their grand opening event on Friday, June 27th from noon until 5 p.m. for games, food, and fun. The Frangie Show will broadcast live, and Big Chief Tire is giving away 4 sets of new tires. Big Chief has served the Jacksonville community with locally owned auto services you can trust since 1961. From new tires to brake repairs, oil changes, and more. Stop by at 10 to 11 San Jose Boulevard in Mandarin or visit WeKeepJacksRolling.com to schedule an appointment today.
Hi, it's Frangie. You hear my buddies Dan and Jeff talk about that great food at Daly's Dash all the time. Jeff loves that Duval and Dan loves the Boss. And they're right, both are terrific. But I can tell you they have so many excellent options at Daly's Dash. Salads and flatbreads and tacos and quesadillas, you name it. And of course, those fantastic subs and sandwiches. I just had the Italian sub. It is so good. The thing is, Daly's Dash is really committed to their food and committed to making it perfect for you. Everything is fresh, made to order every time. And there's so many Daly's locations in town, no matter where you are, there's one near you. I love to pop in and grab a sub at lunch, or maybe after a round of golf, or maybe even after calling one of those Jags games. There's never a bad time to stop into Daly's Dash and grab that great food. So head there today. Take it from Dan and Jeff, or take it from me. They say it's nicer here. It really is. And the food is delicious. Head to Daly's Dash today.
Need protection? Call Craig and Christine Kaprosky at Goosehead Insurance. The Kaproskys are a husband and wife team committed to finding you the right coverage at the right price in just a few short minutes. For home, auto, flood, or specialty insurance, Craig and Christine Kaprosky are the answer. Craig.Kaprosky at Goosehead.com.
Teach your birdies to sing with Dan, Jeff, and PGA pros on Brunch with the Tour. Teed up by Clearwater Irrigation and Apex Roofing and Contracting. Brunch provided by Chick-fil-A. 8:30 Tuesday morning on 1010XL.
AC's broke, it ain't no joke. Call Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. Florida Home AC. FloridaHomeAC.com.
Keeping kids active is a full-time job for parents. Look no further, though, than I-9 Sports, covering Duval, St. John's, and Clay to get your youngster in the game. Summer and fall registration open right now for flag football, soccer, t-ball, and basketball, plus girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows. Fields and gyms all over the First Coast. And the best thing is I-9 Sports offers sports year-round so kids can always find something to do. i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code.
It's summer. Time to enjoy long days, lazy nights, and great food. Because Uber Eats has deals all summer long. So, when hunger strikes, don't sweat it. Delicious deals are just a tap away on Uber Eats. Enjoy all your favorite grocery items delivered straight to you. Get ice cream, soda, and snacks from your favorite stores like Wegmans and CVS and make the most of every moment. Now that sounds like a good summer. Order now on Uber Eats. Terms apply. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Brian and Angela Wall here with Window World. By now, everyone has heard about saving money on their energy bills. There are all sorts of things you can do to cut energy costs, but most people don't think about their windows.
But Window World knows that the biggest energy loss in almost every home is the windows. There is more energy loss from old builder-grade windows than just about anything else in your home.
You can upgrade your heating and air, your appliances. That's good too. But before you do all that, upgrade your windows to Window World's energy-efficient windows.
Window World's windows are easy to clean, energy efficient, and have the best guarantee in the business.
Window World's slogan is simply the best for less, and we mean it. You get great American-made windows, and you get to keep more of your money when you buy from Window World. Need any more reasons to buy your windows from Window World? Call them today and set up your free in-home estimate, or go online to windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World, simply the best for less.
Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell and Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
All right, we got a lots to get to today. Frank Frangie, JJ LaSelva are here. I'm Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell and Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start it with the U.S. Open. JJ Spaun grinds out a life-altering victory, finishing at 1 under, draining a 64-foot putt on the 72nd to win by 2. The 34-year-old Spaun, the runner-up at the Players, won $4.3 million for taming Oakmont. Spaun is also now third in the Ryder Cup standing, so he will be on the U.S. squad this fall.
What stood out to me, I said it earlier in the program, Hayes, is that he didn't fall into this. He didn't win because everybody else collapsed around him. He already had somebody in at 1 over par. He had to beat that. And in this golf course, it was hard. The way he birdied 14, he birdied 16, both with long putts. He hit the great drive on the reachable par 4 17. And then got to 18 and he put together 2 really good shots. They got him in position to 2-putt for the win. He went out and seized it. It was a great, in the 64-foot putt. Again, he didn't need it to win, but it still will be remembered as one of the really, really good putts of all time. I thought Dan Hicks' call, by the way, was fantastic. He said when he putted, I want to say Kiz said he doesn't need to make it. And then Hicks says needs to get down in 2. And then the ball is rolling and rolling and rolling and rolling. And when it goes in, place goes crazy. He goes, how about 1? I thought it was a great call. It was a great moment for golf. It really was.
Yeah, without a doubt. And in a great story, JJ Spaun, somebody who's really almost thought about stepping away from the game and and moving on with his life. And now he's the talk of the golf world. And it'll be fun watching him battle at the Ryder Cup. I'm excited to see what JJ Spaun can. I'm not really excited about the American team. I think Europe has a much better squad. So I'm anxious to see if JJ Spawn can bring some moxie to the group, and hopefully he can. The 54-hole leader, Sam Burns, really fell apart. He didn't get relief from standing water on 15. Was that the right call? He was already 5 over, but he does end up making double bogey off of it. Burns carded a 78, while Adam Scott had a 79. Just a dreadful final pairing for those two great players at the U.S. Open.
I found myself thinking what you thought about Burns, because the ball's in the fairway. You shouldn't be penalized by hitting a ball in a fairway. This isn't a divot. This is an unusual circumstance. If you hit the ball in the hazard, water, no water, rain, whatever, too bad. But I thought, and you made another point, they had been given relief a lot, so I thought he should have gotten it. But again, I don't think that's why he didn't win the golf tournament. Will he be the next big thing? We'll see. He's a really good player hails from that Baton Rouge area, Louisiana. A really good player. We'll see if he turns out being. And by the way, and I was kind of rooting for Adam Scott. It's hard not to root for the guy boy, he became the old guy fast. Remember when he was like the young guy?
Yeah.
You blinked and he was the old guy.
It's
not fair.
It's incredible. I was telling Jackson, I remember when he won the Players, I was a young writer at the Record and was writing a column off of the Players when Scott won it. And my lead was party at Adam's house. For whatever reason, I still remember the lead to that, which is very rare. But it was because I was probably 26 when he won, and Adam Scott, I want to say when he won the Players, was 22.
Yeah,
he was really young.
Right.
And it is hard to believe that now he's in his mid 40s, and unfortunately the conditions got to him. But what a brilliant career Adam Scott has had, Players and Masters champion. Let's talk about the world's number one, Scottie Scheffler, doomed by poor play throughout. Really struggled off the tee the first 2 rounds, and then kind of got that figured out, but then just couldn't buy a putt, particularly yesterday. Not only couldn't buy a putt, was missing routine putts, yet somehow finishes tied for 7th at 4 over.
Yeah, look, he's human. He's still a great player. There's times that even the best players aren't at their best. And this was a brutal challenge, man. This was it was even harder than I can remember even the hard U.S. Opens being. I mean, because the weather contributed, and it was a brutally hard event. Scottie Scheffler will be just fine.
Bryson DeChambeau was the reigning champion. He melted down on Friday to miss the cut at 10 over.
I didn't realize, did he?
Yeah.
Did he? I didn't realize.
Thank
you for pointing that out.
Sure.
Thanks for dropping that in headlines.
I'm happy to do it. Well, he's a big story. He's a big name.
There's no question.
So how does this affect how you view Bryson DeChambeau now moving forward?
Yeah, he's a punk and a bum. Don't be afraid to defend your title. Don't be afraid to defend. You're the defending champion. How about making the cut, you clown?
And missed it by 3 shots.
Yeah, unbelievable. Hey, look, he's had a great year. DeChambeau's a great player. I after picking him, though, we had this conversation, and I thought to myself, he is a guy that can go bad.
Yeah, he's cost me.
He's cost you, but
on a completely preventable mental error, by the way.
Right. By the way, joking aside,
that was years ago.
Yeah, joking aside,
he's still not. Even though I was okay with him at the PGA Championship. It was tough to pull for him.
Yeah,
and
Yeah, I'm not rooting for him. There's too much that I don't love. The live stuff among that, the weird stuff about it. But I'll say this: he's proven time and again that he remains one of the world's elite players. He had a bad tournament.
Yeah, without a doubt. Let's get it to and JJ, your guy. None of the 3 of us really did great because Morikawa, I don't even know where he finished, but
8 or 11. I know. I think he had an even day. I think on Sunday, but Saturday he blew up bad.
Yeah. So really, none of the 3 of us, I would say, had
Really only one of us carried their ass to Bono, so
yes, and we appreciate it.
True.
And apparently, you also lost the Masters, so you got 2 losses.
That, the Little League World Series, and next year's spring training opener between the Phillies and the Orioles. Okay, I lost that one too. Good Lord.
Let's get into the NBA.
The Travelers.
The NBA Finals. The Thunder rally past the Pacers 111-104 in Game 4 to even the series at 2. OKC dominated the fourth quarter, outscoring Indiana 31-17, which leads us to Game 5 tonight. Thunder favored by 9.5. What kind of game do you think we'll see?
I think the Thunder will win. And by the end of the game, it might be 9.5. I wouldn't bet it. but I think the Pacers hang around for much of this game. I've been wrong. JJ, you and I were laughing about how wrong we've been. I've been wrong the whole time on this. But I think the Thunder wins, and I don't think it's a shot at the buzzer to win. But I think it's a game, JJ, midway through the fourth.
I think the Thunder win. I think they handle them pretty easily. I hope I'm wrong about this. We just haven't had many blowouts. We did in Game 2. I think it'll be similar to that one.
We've got another Loser Monday update for you. Frank, this is a good one for you. You are in the lead.
By the way, this is a pity mention, but I'll take it. Please
with 222 points. I've got 207, and JJ's got 162. So JJ is now, we've been saying, a lot of basketball to play. JJ, now you kind of need to, need to have a pep talk with you guys tonight.
Yeah, I would say, I usually when you have the best player, you fall into the best player. You generally don't have to worry about it. I had a hunch you two guys would be closer, but there's a pretty big gap now.
Siakam's just been a machine. Yeah. I didn't expect him to be scoring at such a high rate.
You're 45. You're 45 out of second. So that's a bit of a gap.
The stars of the sports weekend, I might argue, with apologies to JJ Spawn and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Did you see the Dumb and Dumber guy sitting behind Rick Carlisle Friday night?
I did.
That was awesome. I mean, I honestly kept laughing when they would show him.
I know. I did too.
I mean, I don't mean like up close. I'm talking like as the play's going on, and it's an intense moment of the game, my eye would wander to that orange and blue.
It was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, it was so funny. And
they
honestly,
had chains on, and one was Perk and one was Stephen A.
Yeah.
And it was ironic because that same night, Stephen A. Smith was caught playing solitaire by some amazing fan in the crowd during the game.
He's bulletproof for sure.
He is.
Yeah.
He probably got a raise after that.
Yeah, absolutely. We talked about this earlier in the show, but a huge NBA blockbuster trade. The Orlando Magic trade for Memphis sharpshooter Desmond Bane, sending away a big package that includes 4 future first-round picks. The 26-year-old Bane, however, is averaging 17.8 points per game for his career and is a 41% three-point shooter for his career. So seemingly exactly the kind of player the Magic needed.
Yeah, I would say this. I would say, look, I don't follow it closely, but for the first time in a long time, the Magic between Banchero and Wagner and Suggs have a little bit of a core, I think, Hayes. And in today's NBA, you can't win without making a bunch of threes, and that's what Bane does. So you've got some size, you've got rebounds, you've got slashers, you've got very complete players. How about bringing one guy who can really shoot it? Hey, look, they're trying. And rather than just settle, this is the Magic making their move. Whether the move turns out or not, they're making a move. We talked about the Jaguars. They traded a bunch to go get Travis Hunter because they were making their move. And I applaud a team that goes and makes their move, and I kind of compare it to that a little bit.
In the WNBA, how about Caitlin Clark sizzling with several long threes, scoring 32 points as the Fever beat the Liberty? I mean, watching those clips on Twitter,
wow.
I mean, it's incredible what she can do.
Yeah, she's a great player. She is. Yeah, I know all the controversy. Does she get too much attention? Does she not? This and that. The her versus Angel Reese controversy. If you put all that aside, she's a great player.
I mean, she's bearing these things from, way out.
She's clearly the greatest female player of all time. Well, it's not even close.
Yeah, I will certainly say this. She's certainly the most relevant of all time. And it's not even
her
close.
game is levels above any woman I've ever seen.
It's remarkable. To Major League Baseball, huge trade as the Red Sox send Rafael Devers to the Giants. The 28-year-old Devers is a 3-time All-Star with 215 career home runs. The Giants assume the contract and will pay him $250 million through 2033. This stat stunned me. This is from ESPN. San Francisco hasn't had a player hit 30 or more home runs in a season since Barry Bonds in 2004.
What?
That's the longest drought in baseball by 15 years.
Yeah, I had no idea because they've been a good team. They've been a pretty good team. So that's a great stat. I saw it too, Hayes. It shocked me too. The Devers story is fascinating. Red Sox fans have to be furious. If you follow the Devers story, he's been their third baseman. He's a good hitter, not a very good third baseman. So they bring in Alex Bregman. So they say Devers is no longer the third baseman. Well, he gets pissed. He said, I'm still the third baseman. Well, no, it's not up to you. You're not the third baseman. So they make him a DH, so he pouts. Well, then they lose their first baseman. So they talked about moving him to first. He said, nope, you said I'm a DH, I'm going to be a. He refuses to play first. So finally, he's been such a bad attitude guy, they just got to get him out of town. He's a cancer in the clubhouse. They get him out of town. He shows up with the Giants and says, I just want everyone to know I'll do whatever I have to do to help the team win, including play first base. So, Red Sox fans are just fuming about the way this story is ending.
It's incredible. Absolutely. Another big story in the show. Shohei Ohtani will return to the mound tonight against San Diego. He hasn't pitched in 21 months since elbow surgery. He is expected to only pitch an inning or two tonight.
Yeah.
But still great to see Ohtani back out on the mound.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I hope he stays healthy as a pitcher. He's a great hitter, and nothing's going to change that. But I hope he gets through those innings, the couple innings tonight, and is okay. He by all accounts, he's a great player. By all accounts, is a good teammate and stays out of trouble and has that great smile. He's good for the game. I hope that elbow holds up. I really do.
Let's update you guys on the College World Series. History today as Arkansas's Gage Wood throws the third no-hitter in College World Series history and the first in 65 years. In a 3-0 win over Murray State in an elimination game, Wood struck out 19 batters and didn't walk anyone, but lost the perfect game after hitting a batter in the 8th inning. Unbelievable performance there. Some other things. Coastal Carolina is already 2-0 in Omaha, so they're in great position. LSU, UCLA tonight at 7. That is a winner's bracket game, so the winner of LSU, UCLA, like Coastal Carolina, will be in fantastic shape.
Yeah, Coastal Carolina is legit, by the way. Coastal Carolina is Gonzaga. For people that don't, if you're wondering who in the world is Coastal Carolina, that's Gonzaga. Just because they have a little name, they don't have a little program. They have a very good program. They might win the whole damn thing. They're very, very. They've been a top 5, 6, 7 RPI all year long.
Sticking in college baseball, Florida gets a transfer from JU center fielder Jaden Bastian. Give us the scouting report on what the Gators just added.
Really good player. I have mixed feelings about that because I hate to see JU lose a guy. But if he had to go somewhere, and after hitting 11 home runs, batting over 300 and stealing 30-some-odd bases, he was going to go somewhere. That's just the world we're in now. The mid-major guys leave for the big schools. I'm glad it's Florida. He can really run. He's a center fielder that can run. Remember now, they got Kyle Jones last year, who was the Stetson center fielder, and then got hurt, never played. He'll be back next year. They'll be the fastest outfield in the country. Those two guys can really run. Jaden Bastian's a really good. He's a little guy, about 5'9", 5'10". But he's got great power. He can run. He'll play in the big leagues one day, Hayes. I think he's a really good player. I hate to see JU lose him. I think they kind of knew they were going to. It's like when UNF lost Alex Lodies to FSU, you were going to lose him. Same thing. I hate to see him lose him, but Florida's getting a very good one in Jaden Bastian. Power can really. He had 11 home runs in that ballpark, which is as big as Yellowstone. Okay, so he's a really good player.
We will get you out on our musical nugget of the day. Thank you to Frank Frangie for this one. This week, back in 1975, America had the #1 song on the Billboard Top 100. This is Sister Golden Hair. It was cool learning about the writing of this song.
Yeah.
The songwriter, and you'll know his name. It escapes me, but wanted a Jackson Browne kind of feel.
Correct. This song wound up being, by the way, I wouldn't believe it was 50 years old if I hadn't been the one to send it to you. This is one of in that whole the bridge yacht rock thing of the mid 70s. This is like the calling card song. This song is as good a song in that genre as that it was ever written. One of my favorite all-time songs, and it's 50 years old. I remember where I was the first time I heard it.
Where were you?
So I was at home, leaving with somebody. Okay. I wasn't really going to get into that, but someone that lived out of town.
I'm curious. Sorry.
Someone lived out of town and would visit in the summers. Yeah. Spend some time with that person. We heard the song together for the first time, and she had blonde hair. Just thought I'd throw that in. Is that enough? Is that enough info?
I'll
let your imagination do the rest. Okay,
and we're about to go to break, so I can get the good parts
yes,
now.
you can, but it's a great song. It's truly a truly great song. America's anthem. If you ask me, I love the song very much. Back to Wrap the Program. Great job, by the way. Back to Wrap the Program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Hayes Carline for Atlantic Infinity. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise. free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter. And you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showroom. It's cool, comfortable, and hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Game 6 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals will be tonight in Sunrise as the Florida Panthers take on Edmonton. Florida leading the series 3-2, need one more win to win back-to-back Stanley Cup championships. The Panthers took Game 5 at Edmonton on Saturday. Tonight they're favored by a goal and a half plus 165 on the puck line. Edmonton getting the goal and a half minus 200. The Oilers are plus 125 on the money line. The Panthers minus 145 with the over-under goal total at 6.5 with the over at even money and the under minus 120. As a series line, Florida is minus 400 to win the Stanley Cup. Edmonton will need back-to-back victories, are plus 300. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your Visa in Action update on 1010XL.
Oh, no. No.
You okay in there?
Toilet's backed up. It won't flush.
Okay, I'll call the pros.
The tank isn't filling. The handle does nothing. Run for your life.
Don't be so dramatic. Duck Duck Rooter will fix it.
For any plumbing issue, call Duck Duck Rooter, your local plumbing professionals, and proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. DuckDuckRooter.com.
When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769.
Cannonball!
Honey, someone's in our pool.
Oh, refreshing.
John, what are you doing?
Oh, hey, Dave. Seeing as how me and the guys at Clearwater Irrigation reinstalled your sprinklers after the pool contractor ripped it out, I thought you wouldn't mind if I took a quick dip.
But in a Jaguar print Speedo?
Yeah, Dave. My bad. Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage, too.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione Law.
Baloo here for Smoonez Vision. Why Smoonez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smoonez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smoonez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smoonez is fellowship trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmoonezVision.com today. Here you can see.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 five-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist is now offering ortho walk-in appointments. If you have an immediate need for orthopedic care, contact Southeast Orthopedic Specialist immediately. Avoid ERs and urgent care waiting rooms. For more information, go to se-ortho.com.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
get closer to nature.
Trying to get close to these bucks out here.
Jeff Lageman, Captain Kevin Faber, and Captain Kirk Waltz. The Nimnicht Outdoor Show, presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning. Saturday morning 7 to 10 on 1010XL.
Hey, Hickett here for my friends at Zero Res. Gang, vacuuming is not sufficient to maintain the cleanliness and lifespan of your carpet, period. Do not, let me repeat, do not leave deep cleaning to yourself with do-it-yourself dirt-attracting carpet soaking machines. No, no, no. Call on the cleaning freaks from Zero Res. Big summer savings. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129. Take 20% off air duct cleaning as well. Call them, 904-287-5727, and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spelled forwards or backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Hacker here for Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Look, the summer has arrived. Memorial Day is in the rearview mirror. It's vacation season for me, and over the next couple of weeks, whether it's a cruise, going out to Las Vegas, I'm going to bust out the tank tops, man. I'm going to show off the bod a little bit. Now, would I have done that 100 pounds ago? Of course not, but thanks to the great folks at Awaken 180 Weight Loss, I really have a new lease on life. It's life changing. I'm in the maintenance program now, doing really well, right? The weight is not coming back on. That's almost as rewarding, if not a little more rewarding. It's one thing to lose the weight. It's something else to keep it off. I've been able to do that with the great folks of Awaken 180 Weight Loss. If it's time in your life to make that change like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. If I can do it, you can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the cool down from the cool guys at Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing. Fast, reliable, and honest service since '87.
All right, where have we been on the show today? We talked about that outstanding U.S. Open, and man, oh man, was it good. What a finish. J.J. Spawn wins it in dramatic fashion. A 64.5-foot putt to secure the win. He didn't need it. He needed to get down in 2, but he still won the tournament. Amazing putt. It'll be one of the most memorable putts in golf history. I truly do believe that, so congratulations to him. We certainly talked about that. We talked about Gator football recruiting. I haven't talked about that in a while. But it looks like that's all the buzz, at least for the last day or two. Desmond Bain goes to the Magic. That kicked off our NBA talk. That included tonight's Game 5, when the Game 5 between the Pacers and Oklahoma City, to see who gets ahead. And that's a critical game. So that's where we've been over the course of the show tonight. Let me tell you what we left out. Maybe the biggest news of all this sports stuff. Joey Chestnut's back. Did you know that?
I did. I couldn't get that in. Yeah, I was going to try and save that one for tomorrow. But, but no, the hot dog competitive eating, that's too hot to save. Well done.
And by the way, Great American Nightmare is over. Thank God.
Joey Chestnut was kicked out of the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest last night because he was a spokesperson for some other kind of food.
Impossible Foods.
And then Nathan's kicked him out and then realized nobody knows who we are without Joey Chestnut. Let's bring him back.
He is the contest.
He is, right. And so Joey Chestnut comes back.
16-time champion.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Kobayashi, is he still around?
He retired.
Yeah. Oh, he did? He can't retire.
Oh, he retired.
So it's just Joey Chestnut.
He lost his fastball.
It's Joey Chestnut, a bunch of no-names then,
The game passed him by.
There's still the Eater X out there, right? Isn't that the one guy who, there was one guy who knocked him off in the middle of all. It hasn't been like a consecutive 16 years. I know you know that, Frank.
I did not know that, but the fact that the game passed him by was a great moment as we think about that. God bless him. So, all righty.
Father Time, man.
Father Time.
Undefeated.
It still remains undefeated. So we'll talk a little bit more about the NBA coming up. And then kind of the dog days of summer a little bit. But baseball's gotten interesting. Obviously, the Braves are kind of done. I watched the Cubs-Pirates series. Cubs are pretty good, by the way, JJ.
Cubs are very good. They have this guy, Pete Crow Armstrong, who is really fun to watch. Bellinger is the same guy we always knew. Yeah. And, they have a fun team. I think they can win the Central, even though St. Louis is pretty good, too.
My team had won 8 of 11, 5 out of 6, was playing pretty well, and ran in and went to Wrigley. 4 one-run games, lost 3 of them. 2 games were 3-2, 2 games were 2-1. Neither team scored more than 3 in one of those games.
Wow.
and 2 extra inning games. So, but Paul Skeens can't win, by the way. Paul Skeens, by the way. How about this?
Kyle Tucker, who's I was thinking about.
Yeah, and
former Astros.
Yeah, so Paul Skeens can't win a game. My guy Mitch Keller, one of my Pirate pitchers, JJ. He leads Major League Baseball with 11 quality starts, and he's 1-9.
No way.
What? He's 1-9.
He's 1-9.
He leads the big leagues with 11 quality. You know what a quality start is? A quality start is defined by 6 complete innings, 3 earned runs or less. He leads the big leagues with 11 of them.
One of them.
And they're 3-8 in those starts, and he's
someone
1-9.
needs to be arrested.
Yes, don't you think?
Yeah.
He's 1-9. His
That's
record
worse than Skeens.
He's an all-star 2 years ago. So he's 1-9.
That's
leads the big leagues in quality starts, and they're 3-8 in those.
So how
in
long
those 11
until
starts?
he can leave
in 11 quality starts.
Well, they'll trade him.
They're 3-8.
That's amazing.
I mean, isn't that amazing? They've won 3 of them. So yeah, he's they're probably good at it, which I hate that they're going to trade him because he's a good player, and so they're so we'll see. So there you go.
I see that they were chanting at Nutting to sell the team at something. Oakmont.
Yeah, everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah.
I saw an amateur guy finish with the Pirates jersey on.
Yeah, he did. That guy Barbary or whatever his name is. They got to finish last. But yeah, everywhere you go, sell the team.
Why won't he sell the team? If everyone hates him,
why
won't he sell the team?
Because he's making a boatload of money and he doesn't care if they lose. And he's got 3 daughters that he's passing the team on to. And I mean, Major League Baseball, the money they make just to show up.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, so that's why I totally agree with you. Yeah, but you're right. At some point, okay, dude, you've had 18 years. You've had 3 winning seasons in 18 years. You've never won a playoff series in your 18 years. None, 0.
And
never.
You're not committed to spending.
Right. And you're not going to spend. Give somebody else a chance. Do the right thing. You're
holding a city hostage.
Yeah, you're a billionaire for life. Your kids are going to be okay.
Right.
Give somebody else a chance. That's why that's kind of the talk about it. So, all right, let's say hello to R.J. Saunders.
Now, the 2-minute drill. Serviced by Cool Cats Heating and Cooling. Locally owned and operated. We're your neighbors. CoolCatsJacks.com.
The coolest cats in town.
All right, the last time we did this Friday, we asked you for a winner. You gave us one.
No.
Didn't you?
I think I said the Indiana Pacers were going to win.
You did?
The more I thought about it.
I thought you said the Thunder.
Okay. No. I thought. Oh, yes, I did. I did.
I think you got it right.
I was telling Dylan the more I thought about it. I was like,
I think you got it right. Yeah. So you're 1-0. I'm going to give you a chance to go 2-0. They win again?
Going home. Something tells me Indiana's going to win.
Oh, how about that?
Something tells me Indiana's going to win.
How about that? Okay, Indiana's going to win. All right.
Something tells me Indiana's going to win.
I'll check the betting market, see how it just fluctuated.
Yeah.
Didn't you say what?
It went from 9.5 to 6.5.
Yeah.
Well, what? Game 1, it went, what? It was like a 9-point favorite?
Yeah, it's 9.5. I mean, which just seems, to me, this series has been way too close for
absolutely
that big of a spread.
And especially for me, I'm saying, I think the Pacers had their comeback game in Game 1. You had the Thunder have their comeback game in Game 4. This is now, okay, we're even. Best of 3. Let's see how this turns out.
Best of 3, 2 of them in Oklahoma City. All right, what's coming up tonight in the program?
Tonight we'll be talking about the Desmond Bane trade. So we'll have Jake Chapman, the radio play-by-play voice of the Magic, to talk about the Bane trade as well as the Orlando Magic rebrand, in which they had John Shipley to talk Jaguars with us.
Yep.
And NBA Finals talk with Michael Smith. Had a cup of coffee in the NBA, went to Brigham Young University. Now an analyst with the Utah Jazz, formerly of the Clippers. That's how I remember him. But just to talk all things NBA Finals, a little bit of Jazz future, and has a great story about how he traveled the world with Magic Johnson and scored 10 straight on Kareem.
So, love that.
Yeah,
we'll be listening. R.J. Saunders, that comes up tonight as soon as we get out of here. That'll do it for our program tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Don't go anywhere. R.J. is next. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.